Hi everyone, welcome back for another episode of Adams for the Love of Movie Picks. This time around, we're going to be doing a twofer tonight. We're going to be talking about Goon and Goon Last of the Enforcers sequel. So, first things first, the first Goon came out in 2011. It has a few well known actors in it. So, it's obviously got Sean William Scott as the lead character, Doug the Thug Glatt. Jay Baruchel as Pat, Allison Pill as Eva, Eugene Levy as Dr. Glatt, Lee Schreiber as Ross Ray, excuse me, Marc-Andre Grandin as Xavier Laflemme, Kim Coates as Ronnie, the coach, Richard Clarkin as Gord Ogilvy, Jonathan Cherry as Marco Belcher, and and David Pacto as Ira. So, for those of you that may not know, just a little tidbit, Goon is the film adaptation of the book Goon, the true story of an unlikely journey into minor hockey league. It's loosely based off of the true story of Doug Smith. That being said, I really like Goon. It's not only a hockey movie, which is great for me, but it's a good comedy movie. At best you could probably compare it to is along the lines of Slapshot. Kind of that hockey comedy movie. Me personally, and a lot of people are probably going to hate me for saying this, I actually like Goon better. Nothing against Slapshot. It's a great movie. I love Slapshot, but I like Goon better. And it may be just the time I was born into. For me, Slapshot is just a bit too old school. For me, like it's almost like silent movie era kind of comedy, like slapstick comedy. Slapshot, slapstick, pun definitely intended. And maybe that's what they were aiming for. But for me, it's just I can't relate to the humor as much in Slapshot as I can in Goon. It's really funny. The humor in it and the hockey in it, is relatable as well. Basically the premise of Goon, Doug the Thug Glatt, he's not even known as the Thug, he's just known as Doug Glatt, is a Jewish guy who basically, has no skills. He's not very smart. He works as a bouncer to make ends meet. Everybody else in his family is very successful, and unfortunately, he is not. Just by happenstance, he goes to a game. I think they're in Orangeville, Massachusetts, to watch their hometown Assassins play a hockey game. Well, by happenstance, while Doug and his friend Pat are there, Doug gets into a fight in the stands with one of the opposing team players, and the video goes viral. And he ends up playing for the Orangetown Assassins. He develops some hockey skills, he gets good, and he gets called up by a higher up league in a higher up team in the Halifax Highlanders, and really finds his niche, and finds where he belongs. There's the role of the enforcer on his team, looking out for the high offensive scoring presence of Xavier Laflemme. And it just progresses from there. And of course, the other aspect of this is Lee Schreiber's Ross the Boss Ray. Is the old school, end of his career tough guy who made it to the pros, because basically the Halifax is like one step under the pros. And Ross was in the pros, and he's, for a vicious slash, he's demoted to the same league as the Halifax Highlanders, playing for the St. John's Shamrocks. While by the end of it, everybody wants to see Ross the Boss Ray and Doug the Thug Glatt go at it in an epic fight. Now, and of course, finally, towards the end of the movie, they have their go. They go at it. And it is truly legendary, folks. Now, mind you, as far as a hockey fight goes, it's obviously excessive. The refs kind of let it go on for quite a bit. It's, I don't know of any hockey fight that would ever get to the level of violence that this hockey fight gets to, but it's still legendary as a hockey fight. And even as a movie fight in general, it's pretty awesome. So if you've never seen Goon, folks, highly recommend checking it out. It is hilarious. If you love comedy, if you love hockey, if you love both in the same movie, you will not be disappointed. I highly recommend checking out Goon. Now, as for Goon, the Last of the Enforcers, quite a bit of the cast from the original, from the first Goon, are in the second Goon. I'm just having a look here when that one actually came out. It was quite a few years after the first one. I know that much. 2017, actually. Pretty much the only new character added of interest is Wyatt Russell as Anders Kane. And Alicia Cuthbert as Mary, who's Eva's sister. You know, who in the first one is Doug's girlfriend, now his wife. They're gonna have a baby together. And basically, at this point, Doug has been with the Halifax Highlanders for a number of years. He's actually been promoted to captain. You know, he's one of the most loved members of the team. But he's kind of wearing out a little bit. Like he was kind of old when he started playing hockey. He's getting to that stage where he's getting quite a bit old, and he meets the new tough guy, Anders Kane, and this dude is a monster. The first fight they have together, now mind you, Anders throws a cheap shot and he headbutts him to kind of disorient him. But in the fight, Doug actually throws his shoulder out and is not able to fight and play hockey. Until he learns from Ross the Boss Ray to throw with his left hand because he's right-handed. So it's pretty cool. And at the end, him and Ross the Boss Ray actually become teammates. At one point, actually, Anders is on the Halifax Highlanders. He gets sent back to the team that he was on at the beginning of the movie. And of course, him and Doug had their epic finale fight. So it's still pretty good. Again, some good laughs. Some good hockey fights, good hockey scenes. So I like the first Goon better, obviously, but Goon Last of the Enforcers is pretty good as well. So there you have it, folks. A twofer for you for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. We will catch you next week for another episode. And actually, before I let you go, one thing I forgot to mention, this is not a family movie. This is definitely an adult movie. Lots of adult themes, language, and such. So not recommended for a younger audience. All right, folks? You have yourselves a good one. Take care. We'll see you next time.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.